This program is a Creative Magic Network and Maura Sweeney collaboration. Hey guys, December 3rd is the deadline to enter the contest to win Lance Secretan's powerful book on inspiring leadership, titled The Spark, the Flame, and the Torch. Inspire yourself, inspire others, inspire the world. And the best part, the book is in hardcover. That's right, hardcovers are hard to get these days. So if you haven't already, you can enter the contest by going to frederickbuy.com. That's Frederick with a C, buy like bye-bye.com, and enter your email in the pop-up that will appear at the top of your screen. Have a great episode.
Welcome to the Maura Sweeney Podcast. Maura is an international speaker, Huffington Post contributor, and the trademarked ambassador of happiness. In 10 minutes or less, Maura weaves clever anecdotes, insightful questions, and personal stories to challenge your mindsets and enable you to live happier from the inside out. Here's Maura with today's podcast for you.
Who do you really want to be? If you're on a path to living happy from the inside out, tune in to today's question because it will definitely help you get there. Who do you want to be in this world? You. What personality, what presence, what influence, what kind of a contribution, and even what kind of a picture do you want to be in this world? Do you know, oftentimes when we get involved in this world, when we get busy, and when we get engaged in all of these external activities and functions and even responsibilities, it's very easy to lose sight of who we truly are. And for those of you who've been following my blogs, my podcasts, and even my videos, you'll realize that what I speak about frequently is your identity, your sense of agency, your idea of self-governance. Overall, I'm speaking about your personal value, your worth, things that show up in ways that may appear or small or large, but either way, they're all significant. They're all important, not only to you and your sense of peace and happiness, but also as a measure and a contributor to the overall benefit of the world. I bring up the question today, who do you really want to be in this world? Because lately I have noticed a lot of people getting upset, probably more than normal, with various forms of leaders, various types of authorities, maybe large organizations or institutions. We have gotten very accustomed to sitting back and almost acting as if we are attendees at a major event, and there are a few people on stage, and we've appointed them as our leaders of banking, leaders of government, leaders of education, leaders of corporations, and you name it, media, it doesn't matter, but appointed and very few leaders. We sit as if we're spectators watching something take place, and in the process we often forget that we too are individuals, each one of us that has gifts and talents and also a fair amount of influence, sometimes an influence far greater than anything we might have imagined or even conceived. So when I see people getting all kind of riled up and upset about something that's going on at some high level that they don't like, it's very easy on the one hand to feel disempowered, or to be frustrated, or to be angry, or to find fault. But what if I were to suggest something completely different to you? What if I were to suggest that your sense of angst, your impatience, your disagreement, whatever it may be, with certain people that you've appointed into places of leadership, can be used as your awakening catalyst to who it is that you really want to be in this world? Very often, as I mentioned at the beginning, we could get so busy and so consumed in our day-to-day activities and not realize that we too take up space. We are people of influence, and we all have giftings and abilities, many of which we really haven't activated or tapped into. But what if we were to do that right now? So with that in mind, I'll give you two of my own personal stories, and maybe you can extract something from them and apply your own ideas and imagination for how you would really like to be in this world. About 2 years ago, I did a very quick YouTube video, and in it, I asked people if you could come back as anyone in history, who would that person be? And I asked it for a reason, because I wanted to inspire a certain amount of creativity, and I wanted to tune in to maybe latent parts of people's personalities that they really don't give credit to. So when I asked myself that question, who would I like to come back as? I mentioned two people. The first was Eleanor Roosevelt, and even though I came into this world after Eleanor Roosevelt's official time as First Lady, there was something about her and her personality that I really was attracted to. For one thing, she was a woman that managed, through her heart and her awareness, to see the plight of other people. There was something in her that she could give voice to the voiceless. And more than that, she could use her voice as an opportunity to change the way society operated. Obviously, in my mind, for good and not for evil. To uplift rather than to stay with, let's say, a former way of doing things and of a certain way of thinking. I really like that. I like the fact that Eleanor Roosevelt, during her era, ended up as being one of the most prolific writers for syndicated columns. And I thought, what an unusual thing for a woman. And she probably was by nature a quieter sort, but she felt so strongly about her vision and the way in which she had ideas to convey that I was really drawn to it. A second personality I was really drawn to, and I thought, oh, I wonder if I'd ever want to come back like him, was Christopher Columbus. Because if you've ever given any thought to his era, Christopher Columbus lived during a time when everyone believed the world was flat. Flat. Now, can you imagine when all of science, all of religion, and all of society had one belief system in mind, and yet you were convinced that there was something else out there, that there was something that had a completely different meaning, that was set up according to a completely different paradigm. In his case, he believed he could actually sail westbound across the Atlantic Ocean and hit land, thinking it was going to be somewhere in the east, not realizing that he was going to hit the United States. But the amazing thing for me about a Christopher Columbus is that he was a mind that saw something and envisioned something internally, and he managed to convince royalty to deliver unto him several ships as well as provisions and individuals aboard those ships that could help bring them to a new land. What an incredible man of influence, to be able to go where, let's say, no man had gone before. And when most people would never want to take the journey, others might want to turn back. Christopher Columbus kept sailing and sailing onward. There was even a song about it. It was, "We may never pass this way again." I must have, at some level, relate to that idea. We may never pass this way again, so while we're here, why not continue the journey and be all that we can be? Pursue our dreams, pursue the best, pursue things that are beyond the ideas and the ways and even the paradigms we have here in this life. So let's go back to you. Who do you want to be in this world? Many times there are thoughts that you might have had. There are talents or giftings, abilities. Maybe you know how to make things. Maybe you know how to bring people together. Maybe you have some abilities to entertain people, to create beauty at some level. to reorganize communities in a way that benefit other people. Maybe you have mentoring capabilities. Maybe you're a great cook, and yet you really never gave yourself time to explore or to step into those areas. Maybe you are an idea person that needs to share your ideas. And on another note, maybe you are really a leader, someone who has never stepped out into the fullness of who they are. When you're on your own today, ask yourself that very question. Go to a quiet place, allow your mind and your imagination to flow, and say, who do I really want to be in this world? I have something in mind for you. If you are willing to go that route and expect to find something good, something that makes you happy, and something that makes you feel expansive, embracing other people, larger than your current self, I would hope that you would take, even if it's a 10% step, toward that end, because there are things you have within you that are longing to find their own manifestation in this world. Not only will those things make you happy, but you will be a contributor to this world, to inspire other people, to lift other people up, and to help other people see themselves and the world through a brighter lens. Well, that's been my thought for you today. But before we go any further, let's hold on, because there's someone here who wants to share with us what makes them happy from the inside out too.
Hi, my name is Vicky Fulop. I come from Venezuela, and what made me happy is to be with people that love music. I have a music school, and I love to educate people in the area of music and music development. So big hug to everyone, and I hope you come to visit one day. Clearwater, Florida, Players School of Music. Big hug. Love you all. Take care.
For more insights on living happy from the inside out, subscribe to this podcast. To learn more about Maura, visit her MauraForYou.com website, where you'll find videos, blogs, books, and the Foundations of Happiness self-study e-course. Maura, 4, letter U.com, where Maura is always for you.
Alrighty, thank you so much. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. How'd you like it? How did you like it? I just want to say a quick thank you to everybody out there, and also everybody who contribute to our Patreon page. You are really helpful to this show, and we are grateful for your help. In case you're wondering, Patreon is a simple way for you to contribute to the podcast and get super cool exclusive rewards in return. I promise you will love the perks. Our Patreon page is at frederickby.com. That's Frederick with a C. buylikebabai.com, and click Patreon in the header. The money is used to cover our production costs and enhancements. It is also used to cover our editing time and sharing to different podcast channels. You can contribute for as low as $1, and you can even choose your platform, either Podbean or Patreon.com. See ya next time.